Someone is so in love with you that they almost can't believe it. I was hearing head over heels in love, and this is that type of love where you don't just fall in love over time. It's kind of developing gradually. No. I was hearing whoever this is, they had a spiritual awakening when they met you. It's like your love, the way you are, just your energy has caused them to experience a spiritual awakening. And I was seeing, okay, so when they first met you, they did not only see your body, okay? They saw you bathed in light. Okay, I was seeing you're like floating into their view, and they see you and they are really struck by something that can only be described as otherworldly, where it hits them to their core. It hits them in a way that nothing has ever before. And that is why it triggered something so ancient and so deep within them. It was because they saw, in a way, the past and the future in you. And I feel like this is caused by your eye contact with them. So looking into your eyes reveals deeper layers of lifetimes together. And so this is kind of like a message from their higher self. And by the way, they see you, I was pulling those cards here, they see you as, this is the card of confidence, extremely passionate. You're someone who is paving their own path, okay? And this is what they love about you. You don't listen to what other people say. You do your own thing. You go your own way. They have never met someone who has really had this fire, this drive. You're different, and they love it about you. They love that you're not like the others. And this is what sets you apart, They don't want you to be basic. They want you to be exactly that type of alien, otherworldly presence that you are. And it makes them, but this is the card of curiosity with the raccoon, it makes them extremely curious, okay? Because you have all these layers, and they would like to peel down layer after layer, get to know you better, get to know all the hidden parts of you, yet they also are willing to give you time to unravel. So, the curiosity is what keeps this alive and what keeps it fresh, There is nothing about you that is boring. You're so interesting to them. You're a mystery. They can't figure you out, and this is what turns them on, to be quite honest with you. And they were saying, this is a message from their higher self. There's a lot of people you can find attractive, but then there's people who have the same soul blueprint. And what I mean with this is they had a sense of familiarity when they met you. They looked at you, and you were not the usual type, okay? You were not the usual type, or your looks, or just the outer appearance, or the situation you were in was not the classical way of meeting someone, or they wouldn't have expected to fall that hard for you, but they did. And it made them realize that this connection is not about looks. It's not even about your personality, even though you share a lot of similarities. It's also not about your shared interests or goals. It's really about the soul level connection. And there is a song that came through. It's a really interesting music video. It's basically this man and this woman. It's a love story. They're out in nature. There's wilderness, there's a jungle, there's an ocean, there's a waterfall, he's wearing nothing but leaves, It really reminded me of Adam and Eve. So you came together, okay? And you were standing in front of each other with your naked souls. as you are, whole and complete. And this shook them up to the core in such a way that they really had a spiritual awakening because of this. And it's, when you meet someone and suddenly all these emotions, really like that waterfall, are flowing in such a way where it's, you feel like you're dreaming. You're not even in this realm anymore, because it is quite overwhelming. And that song is, well, it's interesting. The artist was saying about it, that it's him stepping out into the wilderness, and that it's an expression of hope, that love really can overcome anything. And I feel you both know, and you both feel it deep in your heart. There's an inner knowing that it is kind of written, or that it's a fated connection, even though from the outside looking in, there are obstacles, quote unquote, in the way. But that's only when you go into your rational, logical mind. But when you tune back into your heart, you can sense it, you can feel it. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but there's a deeper bond between you that transcends anything. And that has not started in this lifetime, is what I can tell you. It has started way before, because this is not your first time around. And there is an interesting part of this song where he is saying, "You're my one and my true, will you keep holding my heart? Both of us want to, can we go back to the start?" And I was hearing two things with this, can we go back to the start? It is like, you have experienced lifetimes together, and now is the question, can you go back to the start? And can you, in this incarnation, in this lifetime, not fall for all these illusions and all these traps? Can you be led by your heart? Can you open your mind and your heart to the possibility of a love that is peaceful? And it's like, can we go back to the start? Is also, you have both experienced heartbreak, trauma, and very intense experiences in love. Not that it's necessarily bad to ever have your heart broken. It's not, you're not failing just because you had your heart broken. It was not your fault, okay? You were not manifesting this consciously, but more so, there's kind of like, they were waking up to that they had been prepared, Imagine all these, like, that one relationship would have worked out, you would have not met them, okay? This is kind of like the energy. This is kind of what they're thinking. And they really want you to know, okay, that their love for you is greater than you could probably ever imagine, okay? And there is a song, it's Love Is All Around. I think it's also a soundtrack from a movie. I have to look it up, definitely. It's, I love you, I always will. My mind is made up by the way I feel. There's no beginning, there'll be no end. 'Cause on my love you can depend. And it's like, there's no beginning, there is no end. It is, in a way, it's like a circle that never ends. Because I feel that you chose to fall in love again in this lifetime, and there is no end, okay? There's nothing you can do wrong to lose their love, quote unquote, is what they want you to know. It's not like you can mess it up and they're, one day they're just gonna be like, you know what, I don't have those feelings anymore. This is, I'm hearing eternal flame or eternal love, timeless love, a love that is not bound by conventions, by distance, or, it cannot be held back by any obstacles. And this is what Spirit wants you to do, okay? Spirit wants you to tune into your heart. And by the way, one of the best ways you can do it, I have also written a whole entire workbook on this, on how to connect on the telepathic level because I've gained a lot of experience myself being in separation, being in no contact over the course of the past 2.5 years, on the twin flame journey. And I kind of figured out a way to connect even better, to soothe myself, first of all, to not miss my person so bad, but also to experience it now, to have the liberation of experiencing it now, not waiting. And also, most importantly, when you tune into unconditional love, okay, it's like, instead of asking, okay, what can I do to control this situation? What can I do to make them do this? What can I do to make my person commit and whatever? You're really leaning back. You're learning to trust, to allow, to open your heart and let it in instead of forcing. Because there is no need to force. That version of this person, already exists. It really already exists. And to me, in a way, it is like memories from your future, because you are remembering this potential. You're remembering something that is real, and just because it hasn't played out in the physical doesn't mean that it's not real. So if you're interested in tapping into this, I can highly recommend you go and check it out. It's down below. It's in my store. Hold on, the cards are going wild here. Spirit, I want to really tap into their secret feelings, okay? They're hiding so much. I mean, it's funny because you're communicating all the time on a telepathic level, where it's like there's this song by Ronan Keating, When You Say Nothing at All. And it's like when you say nothing, okay, you're not talking, you're not texting, you're not communicating, quote unquote. This is where most of the stuff is spoken between you. And it's so funny because you think there's like nothing is happening. Meanwhile, you're having whole conversations in the 5D. You're meeting up in your dreams, They can see you in their dreams is what I'm feeling. Oh my God. When you say nothing at all, like everything is already shifting in this void. Yeah, oh my God, this is crazy. This is really a synchronicity here. Wow. They want you to stop worrying. Please don't overthink it. Please do not overthink this whole thing. Trust your feelings more than anything. Trust your intuition above all. And they want you to know that, yeah, there is a sensual aspect. They're not the type of person to really let it out fully because they don't want you to feel like it's about this, okay? It's about the physical part of everything. Because yeah, of course, they do have these feelings towards you, but this is not like all the other relationships you've been in. And sometimes, I'm gonna be honest, it's not fun waiting, okay? Sure, it's not fun because our ego wants to be in control and wants to have instant results, but it's worth the wait. The right love is worth the wait. And they're also saying, my yearning for you is eternal. Let me draw one last card. Yeah, okay, because I felt there is more. This yearning, or also the devotion, there is also like devotion, really devoting myself to you, devoting, feeling like we can achieve something together, a mission, a shared idea, creating almost like a paradise together, where it's like I'm seeing that music video in front of my eye, in front of my inner eye, and it's this like a paradise. Like you are a paradise because being in your energy is paradise. And that inspires them so much. Like an artist is inspired by a muse to paint, to write, to create. Your love is their inspiration to create heaven on earth. I want to be your light in the dark. this is not only what they're thinking, this is what both of you, your higher selves, you are each other's lights in the dark. And just like a lighthouse, in the dark can be a source of like a compass, where you can find your way back. It's the lighthouse is like drawing you in. Suddenly you're out in a stormy night and it's raining and the ocean is wild and you're like lost, okay? You're lost. But that lighthouse is there, and that lighthouse is love, okay? This is your love, your unconditional love towards each other. And Spirit wants you to tune more into it if you truly are ready, okay, to tap more into this. As I said, I have all my favorite exercises on how to tune into your telepathic connection in my workbook. I'm not gonna make this video too long. Thank you so much for watching, being here. I'm really, really grateful. We hit 10K. I am like excited about this, guys. Let's see where this goes. And yeah, I'm really grateful. By the way, if you drop your favorite songs down below, your channeled songs. For today, we have One Last Night by Mr. Fantasy, When You Say Nothing at All by Ronan Keating, Cream by Prince. This Is How They See You. Really listen to that song. You're it, you're it. There's nothing you have to change to make this person like you more, to make them fall in love, because it quite frankly has already happened. And Love Is All Around by Wet, Wet, Wet. Okay, so that was it for today. I want to see you around in the next one. And don't forget to comment your favorite songs below.